It is finally finished. Hello to all the memes and bubbles and welcome back to another episode of Colonize Every Planetoid with the help of exploits and bugs. We can start right away with applying a few of your tips. So the lavatory goes to the right and the wash basin goes to the left. We can also deconstruct the gas pump and stuff, because I'm going to replace that with a carbon skimmer. I will take care for the power of that in the next episode. While that was happening, some free beetles arrived. The second point a few of you mentioned was, why not try the Grub Fruit inside of the flower pots? This gives us more calories, but sadly the Grub does not take care of the plants inside of the pots. In case you missed the last episode where I have shown the bug, go and watch the episode. But basically it is just placing a flower pot beneath a tile that you can deconstruct or dig up in order for sand to drop on the flower pot. After that has happened, you want the seed of your choice inside of the room, as well as a pip. Pip. I think they killed our freaking pip by dropping it in the liquid, so I'm going to use this pip. Very nice, the pip finally planted this, so now we can copy over the spindly grub fruit in our flower pots and place them here. I am not going to place the grub in this room because I already tested this and the grub does not take care of the plants, sadly. Otherwise this would be very nice and even more overpowered than it is already. But still, the spindly grub fruit gives 800 calories while mealwood only gives 600 calories. Another issue at the moment is that our liquid reservoir is already filled, so our toilets are not running because the water backed up. We will take care of that by just placing down a couple of regular liquid storages here on the vanilla side. We won't be using anything special. I'm just going with the regular in-game filter. And don't take this as a good example, I just temporarily threw together a couple of buildings. Nice, this is done, and as soon as this has power, it does not at the moment. Why? Because only a few of our code generators were running. So let's check this. Polluted water is coming in, getting filtered, stored in the polluted water area. Now we can technically store all of our unnecessary water, like this one down here. And we can probably bridge it onto that like so. And we can even test how this works by mixing our liquids down here in the pool. Now we have polluted water and salt water in there. I have set the lowest filter to clean water and the filter on top to polluted water. Everything else will come up the topmost pipe. Let's call it the everything else line. This is where the salt water gets fed in right now. On the second planetoid, I think it is time to get this water over to our storage down here. For now, this should do the trick. I only need one duplicant that can access this with the atmosuits. And I want to close this door off. What the freaking heck, Travaldo? Why are you doing that? Those dupes. I also gave Frankie super duper hard digging, so he can help wait out digging up this area. Wow, free steel. Really nice. 15 machinery. 15. Wow. All my amazement aside, a very long time later the dupes finally finished the tunnel and now we have access to the steam geyser and a lot of water for our storage. We could also use our accumulated hydrogen that we have in here, 300 kilograms per tile, really nice, in a hydrogen generator. Therefore the water sieve room will be rearranged, everything will be moved to the left and the free space that we created can be filled with the hydrogen generator and a little bit of granite piping. The power of the hydrogen generator will be fed to our main grid with a heavy watt wire. Our copper reserves are running low, by the way. And in order to control our hydrogen generator and not just burn all of our hydrogen needlessly, I'm going to connect it up to our already existing smart battery right here. Smart battery will then control the hydrogen generator as well as the coal generators. Now all we gotta do is just hook up our pump again. Like so. And now the hydrogen is filling up the pipe from the hydrogen generator. But be aware, since we do have no control mechanism that checks if there is still hydrogen in our hydrogen room, there might be the possibility of us creating a vacuum here and the hydrogen generator burning off all of our accumulated hydrogen. But since we have so much left, let's worry about that another time. We could control the system by just placing down an atmos sensor in here, but that would require us to go in there, and that is quite complicated at the moment. We finally got a little bit of gold amalgam. 2 tons to be exact. The same thing that we did for the liquids we can do for the gases. A rudimentary gas storage with just regular filters, but this time I'm using a different setup. Let's place the gas filters like so, bridge over the filtered gas in the middle, and let's place down the filter line down here, connect it to the white, Maybe let's go through the floor, connect it to the white, then the green to the white, the green to the white, the green to an outlet, and connect up the filters to the bridges. A couple of gas storages to store our polluted oxygen and our carbon dioxide. Each one of those can only hold 150 kilograms of gas. So as you see in the background, I'm moving our coal generators one floor down and replace them with a lot of the gas storages. The piping for this is a mess, but it always depends on what you want to achieve. You can set each filter to your desired gas and then just hook it up to whatever storage you want to have it in. I think it is important to play around with that yourself. Our food reserves on the main planetoid also come close to their end. That is why I'm sacrificing a couple of our hedges, the hedge eggs, but not the stone hatchlings, in order for the duplicants to have tasty omelets and barbecue. Apparently I also massively underestimated how much polluted water we will get. Those two are already filled up with polluted water to the brim, because we have a lot of polluted water and there's a lot of ice melting too. And we have even more of that here. So I think I need to add more of those. Another disclaimer here again, I'm not putting much effort into our liquid storages as well, because I have ideas for a central storage planet. Talking about planets, on the second one here we have a slight heat problem. That is why our mealwoods aren't grown anymore. They only grow between 10 and 30 degrees Celsius. But now that we have access to the grub fruit plants, we can dig those up and place them in there by copying over the settings from this flower pot and sending over some of the seeds. Our lovely little dupes will get rid of the old plants and replace them with a new one. They might need a couple of seeds from the main planetoid though. There we go. Oh, okay. I've set an alarm to this, so if this room ever gets too warm, meaning above minus 25 degrees, then this notifier will automatically notify us. We can then feed in a little bit of hydrogen to cool it down again. I will automate this when it is necessary. We can also be so cruel and make more slickster larvae popsicles, because they really don't like the temperatures here. What they will also probably not like is this here. Come on dupes, I'm trying to explain something here. Who is feeling special today again? Travaldo, just how? And why? Okay, back to this. The critter will probably not like this, because this is an evolution chamber. The critter will evolve from their lively form into the raw form. What did I try to build here? Well, this is supposed to be a critter drowner. All the excess critter from our incubation room will be transported inside of this room. I'm going to set the critter sensor to above 0 critter. So as soon as a critter is in this room, because they took it from the incubator room and did not place it inside of the ranges, because all the ranges are already filled, they will transport the critter in here. The critter then will walk into the open door, the door will close, the critter will drop to this closed door and will drown in the water chamber beneath. After a while, the critter will turn into meat, the meat will get picked up by the autosweeper right through this corner, will get placed in the conveyor loader, and the conveyor loader transports the meat right into the raw side of our infinite food storage, which is this. Picked up, transported in the conveyor loader, sent over into the storage, where it then gets picked up again by the autosweeper, placed in the electric grill, where a dupe will come and make nice barbecue out of it. Nice timing, McLim. The automation for this is the following. It is just a cable, and the critter sensor is set to count critters, not eggs, above 0. That's all. Done. Wait, let's not forget, priorities are important. The priority for the critter drowner needs to be the second highest, compared to the ranges and the incubation room. So for example, you will need to set the ranges to 9, the critter drowner room drop off to 8, and the incubation room to 7. Because we have at least 2 tiny slicksters, well, maybe just one because the other died, I want to place them down here in our nice carbon dioxide area. In between, we got some seeds. On the second, we can reduce the amount of power that we get from coal by using up the natural gas from our geyser. To get access, I wanted to build ladders all the way down here, but this is taking the dupes too long. So I'm building one of those door mechanisms again. It may not be the best, but for now, it should do the trick. So again, guys. 2 weight plates, mechanical airlock, cables, here, 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 place down an AND gate, connect this up like this, and insulate everything that you want to have insulated. And it would be best to hook it up to the power grid, otherwise the door is super slow. There we go, the door has been built and the temperatures behind the door are bearable. The planned ladder system to our previous access point can be cut so that the duplicants only use our new access. The natural gas geyser can be surrounded by insulation tiles. I will still leave an access point for the duplicants with just a regular door right here. And of course an automated gas pump, which I should not forget to build out of steel. There we go. The whole automation for this thing will be just the Atmos sensor connected up with a cable. We then can later set this to a value that we desire. Maybe it is also a good idea to prepare some of the piping. What the heck guys, check this out. Those are totally empty, meaning we have 0 igneous rock left. What happened here? For now I think I will be sending over igneous rock from the second planetoid because this just can't be. I felt like I should expand on the natural gas geyser setup, but instead showing everything step by step, I show you how the dupes build it and then explain what it does. I wanted to have at least 2 generators for 1600 watts of power. The generators produce carbon dioxide, which I wanted to get rid of, so I integrated a carbon skimmer as well as a water sieve and a tiny bit of automation. Nice, this is finally running. You won't believe how long this took, with only 5 duplicants per planet. So, the natural gas geyser is erupting, spits out natural gas. The natural gas will be sucked up by this pump, transported down to our generators, which produce power to power our equipment and the base. Some excess produce is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will be fed down and be filtered by the carbon skimmer itself, if the carbon dioxide even hits the carbon skimmer. Another byproduct from the natural gas geysers is liquid, polluted water. Polluted water will drop down from this tile, accumulate down here, get sucked up by the liquid pump, and the liquid pump feeds it into our sieve. The sieve then cleans the polluted water to clean water and puts it out here. The clean water first goes into the carbon skimmer and secondly gets fed into the base if there is excess water. So it will always try to feed the carbon skimmer first and then feed back the loop, meaning this will feed back until the loop is completely filled and then every excess water will get sent to the base. Or, if the base pipe is already filled, will just be dropped down to our pool right here. Another point that I almost forgot is the natural gas generators don't have to run all the time. They only have to run if we really need the power. We can just connect them up to the same system that our coal generators are on at the moment. This smart battery, to be exact. It will control the entirety of our power equipment. We do that by just running a cable to the generators. I think we can get rid of 3 of our coal generators now, because we have the hydrogen generator here, with a lot of hydrogen left, 500 kilograms per tile, and we got 2 of those, which produce 800 watts each. I'm changing up the rooms a tiny bit. I'm getting rid of our vanilla side bathroom and replace it with a couple of showers. If the duplicants really need to go to the toilet, they can use the bug side for now. By the way, the power transformers did a good job heating up this area here, and it only took around 200 cycles. Because this was very cold in here, now we can deconstruct it. New duplicants might be a good idea when we arrived on another planetoid, so bristleberry for now. A few more buildings down in the base have been deconstructed, so we have more space for an experiment that I have planned. At the moment we are totally out of water, because most of the water has either been used in our toilet setup or is still in frozen form in the storage bins. So we could try to make a non-exploity way of the bathroom loop. And I want to achieve that by filtering the polluted water in a water sieve. Afterwards, instead of feeding the germy water back instantly, I want to drop it in this room first, where we kill off all the germs, and then suck it up and feed it back to our showers. So what could be our method of choice to get rid of the germs in here? I wanted to try out the radiation cleaning for once. And because I don't want to spend power on that, more Wii could be the solution for that. The only problem being here, we are on the vanilla side, meaning we can't create natural tiles the way we used to. So I try to show you a method that could work. The keyword here is try to. What we need in order to achieve a natural tile is the glass forge. The glass forge produces a very hot liquid glass, which could be used to cook tiny amounts of dirt. Cooked dirt will then turn into sand. A way better solution would be to use algae, but at that point I did not think of that, because algae can be turned into dirt way quicker than dirt can be cooked into sand. This did not work. Let's try this again, but with just one. There's the glass. 24 degrees. Nice, there we have our natural tile. Just be aware that this is not the optimal version to do this. You better check out the wiki for that, because I didn't. I just tried out a very common method with the material I had lying around. And way too long later, after placing a pip in there and the seeds and so on, we finally have our natural tiles with the mesh tile underneath and the wastewater on top. Now let me show you how this works on an example. At the moment I'm filling up our showers with clean water, which sadly has no germs in it. But it still goes through the filter, drops down here, and then will get cleaned by the radiation from our wastewards. After that, it will get pumped up again. Let's see if I find us some polluted water. I found something and there's 25 million germs in it. That is the combined collection of the Dupes pee water, by the way. So we have 28,000 germs at the moment. And here are 0 germs. 14,016, it's going up quickly. Here are still no germs, by the way. Now, slight hazard. So maybe I cut it for now. What did we learn from that? Well, probably that 3 wastewards are not enough to handle a continuous stream of water with 25 million germs. But they are probably overkill for everything that we have normally. As soon as we cut the germy water input, almost all of our germs are already gone. This setup works pretty amazingly, I really like this. It's been a long time, but on our second planetoid, in order to give our lovely 2 Patreons, Stayku and Wade, their wishes, we will need to colonize another planetoid. Stayku wants to be alone and Wade needs some Paku. At the same time that we constructed the rocket platform, we also built a fancy space telescope, which even has its own oxygen line. I gave our lovely Hale the astronomy research skill. And it's already downtime. The star map shows 2 unknown objects near our moonlet. And since this geyser here is on the vanilla side too, we cannot use infinite storages. God damn it, game. The food storage room got too warm again. That was the issue. That's because we have 400,000 calories, most of it being warm barbecue. What I wanted to say is I want a backup buffer for our natural gas geyser. And since this is the vanilla side, we need to use regular storages, no infinite storages. The room that the natural gas geyser is in will overpressure at 5 kg per tile, and then the natural gas geyser will stop erupting. The storages will help us prevent that. Eons later, the dupes finish the construction. The natural gas now gets sucked up by the pump as soon as the atmosensor hits above 500 gram. This is so the pump runs more effectively. The gas will then be transported in the pipe into the storages, where it gets sent off with the pipe to the left, to supply our natural gas generators. We do have 5 of those gas storages, where each of them can hold up to 150 kilograms of gas. The room itself is also 20 tiles big, and since this geyser only overpressures at around 5 kilograms per tile, we do have 100 kilograms of buffer in the natural gas geyser room, plus 5 times 150 kilograms, meaning overall we have 850 kilogram of buffer space. To give the dupes in the main base something to do, I'm replacing all the floors with granite floors. And I'm digging a little bit to the right. Because I'm dumb, I deconstructed or I dug up the tiles the wastewards were on, so we have no more radiation for our research station. That's why I'm using the wasteward that are placed here near our spawn to get rid of any germs if I want to feed that clean water with a high amount of germs in it. Does this work? This needs to aim downwards. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah, that should work. Poor wastewards. Okay guys, I think I'll leave the rocket and the colonization for the next episode. This took way longer than I ever expected. But now we do have a setup that feeds our base with 1600 watts of power. And it takes care of its own byproducts. We will see how this does in the long run when it heats up. We even get a little bit of excess water from this that feeds our base. The dupes also managed to build the steel pump with the oil line. And it only took around 70 cycles. We now have access to the water from the geyser in a very rudimentary fashion. The hydrogen from our spawn is finally able to be used. I pimped these rooms while you were not looking. I almost replaced all the floors with granite. That's why this is looking like a mess. We stored a little bit of stuff the regular way and have a very nice vanilla cleaning system for our newly installed showers. I threw together this critter drowner that works like a charm. Thank you guys for watching, and in the next episode I might tackle this magma, as well as a little bit of space with a rocket. And maybe finally some plastic and petroleum. Our nearest planet, by the way, is Zapiol, which is a radioactive crust metal poor moonlet. Love you guys, leave a like and some suggestions, and I'll see you in the next one.